Hi there, my name is Mike Decker and I'm a contributor to myopenpath.com. What I wanted to do in this video today was to talk about 7 popular real estate investment methods and kind of go through the pros and cons of each. Now, why is real estate investing so attractive? I like how Donald Trump, controversial figure that he is, but no one can deny that he's a successful investor. And so something he said is, it's tangible, it's solid, it's beautiful, and it's artistic. I just love real estate. Or just love real estate. I can't do a Donald Trump impression. So this has gotten the attention, this idea of investing in something that the big boys are investing in and that people have been doing for decades, because more and more people are getting close to retirement age, the baby boomers, children of baby boomers, and they realize they're not ready for retirement. Or even if retirement might still be, a few years off, when they look at their savings account, they think there's no way this is going to last me. In fact, 1 out of every 4 Americans, according to a recent study, thinks that they're going to have to work until the age of 80 to be able to have a comfortable retirement, which is kind of a sad situation to be in, right? So many more people are turning their eyes towards investing, towards taking their savings and trying to make a growth through real estate investing. So let's do a little breakdown. We're going to talk about a foreclosure auction, about a short sale, about buying a fixer-upper, doing a fix and flip. We're going to talk about bird dogging, a probate sale, foreclosing on a tax lien, or picking up a tax deed at public auction. They're all 7 very valid methods. They're legit. People use them all the time. Let's just try to do a brief overview and then weigh, the good and the bad of each one. So first off, a foreclosure auction. You'll see these sometimes advertised on websites like Zillow. It will let you know what the starting bid is. One of the issues with the foreclosure auction is, one, you don't know for sure what you're getting, because oftentimes you're not permitted to inspect the property beforehand. Now, you can get it for 10 to 50% below market value, which is still quite a margin if you need to do any repairs. But one of the issues is that recently, instead of being individual investors that are there, now you've got big hedge funds coming in with much deeper pockets, and sometimes the prices are being driven up so high it's almost to market value. So while there are still some great deals to be had, you have to be okay with the fact you're getting it as is with no guarantees, and also you might be competing and you might end up paying a little bit more than you'd hoped. And what about a short sale? Remember this, a short sale is where, for instance, a homeowner took out a mortgage but they're unable to pay the mortgage. So the bank is going to sell that asset, that house, that the homeowner had taken. And even though they're not going to get all of their money back, they're going to be left a little bit short. They want to do it to just recoup what they can and move on. But what's the issue with short sales? Why, yes, you can get a pretty good deal and for below market value, they take a lot of time, months or even longer. The other day I was speaking with a realtor about one here in Phoenix. She says it's been on and off the market for over a year, and over 3 different people tried to purchase it and it fell through because there were multiple banks involved and it was just a mess. They had to bring in professional negotiators, pay them, and even so it still fell through. So while short sales can be good, oftentimes you're walking into a mess that a previous person has created and there's still no guarantee the deal's going to go through in the end. What about buying a fixer-upper and repairing it yourself? If you watch any sort of reality TV, on HGTV or TLC, you'll see these. You'll see the fix and flip, and they're a lot of fun to watch. Have you ever thought about doing it yourself? Whether getting in there and swinging a hammer or, paying some contractors to get in there for you. Well, it's a lot of work. And there's oftentimes hidden problems. You pull down some drywall and you find out there's mold in the walls. You find out there's an uneven foundation. You find out there's a hole in the kitchen that goes right down through to the basement because of a leak. So not that it's not doable, but many people simply are not equipped financially or with the proper work skills or the right connections to be able to get that done. And in fact, when they sit down at the end of the deal, when they calculate how much they've made, sometimes it comes out to only $20 an hour, which isn't a bad way to earn a living necessarily, but is that really what we're talking about? No, we're talking about preparing for retirement, not just earning a living. What about bird dogging? Bird dogging is probably one of the more favorable methods. Like a bird dog, like the name, a bird dog finds a bird and points at it for the hunter to come along. A bird dogger is an investor who finds a deal, gets it locked under contract, but then passes it along to another investor, maybe one with a little bit deeper pockets. And in exchange, they get a finder's fee, typically of $5,000 to $10,000, sometimes a little bit more, but right around in that ballpark. So bird dogging can be great because you're not actually putting your money on the line other than maybe some sort of a good faith deposit, and you're not dealing with the repairs. You just have to get out there and know where to find these deals, which can be a little bit of the challenge. What about a probate sale? This has a lot of the same challenges of a short sale. It can be very complicated. You have to get a lawyer involved. You have to put down a 10% deposit. And oftentimes, once you get permission to sell, there's still no guarantee. It might still go to the highest bidder, at a probate hearing, which then you'll get your money back, but you didn't get the property you worked so hard for. So once again, there are some decent properties to be had, but you're facing competition, you got a little money out of pocket, and it can take time to find out whether or not you're even going to get the deal. What about foreclosing on a tax lien? In about half the states in the United States, you can purchase a tax lien at an auction and have a certain percentage of financial interest in a property. And after a period of time goes by, generally about 2 or 3 years, most states give you permission to foreclose on that lien, and you can actually get the property for just a few years worth of back taxes and some lawyer's fees. Now, does that sound good to you? Yeah, of course, that's a great deal. What are some of the issues? Well, one of the issues is that 99% of all tax liens, 98-99% get redeemed within the redemption period. So the ones you can actually foreclose on are few and far between. Over at myopenpath.com, we do give you some tips about tax liens and how to pick the ones that are more likely to go all the way to foreclosure. But even still, there are no guarantees. So you will be guaranteed to get your money back, but not necessarily to get the underlying property. And what about investing in tax deeds? Tax deeds, there's not too many downsides. All private liens and mortgages are wiped out through the tax sale. You get ownership, and most times you can immediately take possession of it. There might be a few months for the owner to try to get their act together. The only challenge is that sometimes at the auctions there can be a lot of competition, and the really attractive properties, the prices are bid through the roof, up to market value, and sometimes even beyond. So if you're going to go after tax deeds, don't go after the pretty house with the tire swing and the white picket fence. Go after something that's maybe a little bit uglier, because there's probably going to be less competition, and with the money you save, you'll be able to fix it up. So the fact is, Americans need to retire. We need to prepare for our future, all of us. And one of the best ways, tried and true, is investing in real estate. So have a look at these methods, see which ones work for you. Of course, this isn't a comprehensive list. These are just a few of the most popular ones. If you want to come over to myopenpath.com, I got a link right down here in the description you can check out. We go into great depth on real estate investing, on wealth management, financial education, building an online business from home. It's amazing. So by all means, check out myopenpath.com, see what's out there, and then get to it.